Hi everyone, this is Sir GP for another tutorial lesson again, and today we'll be dealing with the part 2 of logic, which is the truth tables. Pero bago yan, kung bago ka pa lang sa aking YouTube channel, inaanyayahan kita na mag-subscribe. I-hit mo na din yung notification bell para updated ka sa mga tutorial lessons about mathematics in the modern world and other subjects na ina-upload ko. So, ngayon nga, huwag na natin patagalin pa. Let's discuss these truth tables. So, in truth tables, this is also about the truth value. So, in previous lesson, we defined the truth tables for the negation of a statement, the conjunction of two statements, and the disjunction of two statements. Each of these truth table is shown below for review purposes. So, pag sinabi nating negation, okay, this is the kabaliktaran ng isang statement. For example, we have the statement P and its negation not P. Okay? If our statement is true, its negation is false. While if our statement is false, its negation is true. So, in conjunction naman, we combined or we use the connective end. So, statement P, statement Q, and statement P and Q. So, sabi nga natin sa conjunction, in order for it to be true, both statement or both simple statements or the statements na we combine should be true. So, just like this one, true and true, that is truth value, or in truth table, the truth value of that is true. While if we combine true and false, the statement is false. If false and true, the statement is false. False and false, the statement is false. Again, in conjunction, the only way to be true, yung truth value niya sa dulo, okay, both statements should be true. Next, we have these disjunctions or yung ginagamit sa kanya na connective. So, statement P, statement Q, statement P or Q. Here, in order naman sa disjunction na maging false, the statement na ikino-combine natin using the connectives or is both false para maging false siya. So here, true or true, the answer is true. True or false, it is true. False or true, it is true. False or false, false. Kasi nga, ang false na pinagsama natin at isa pang false is never magiging true. So again, if may at least isa dyan na true sa connective or the disjunctions na yan, using the connective or, its truth value should always be or must be true kapag merong isa. Okay? Pero kapag parehong false, again, its disjunction is false. So, ayan, nakapag-review na tayo about doon sa mga negation, conjunction, and disjunction. So now, truth tables. In this section, we consider the methods of constructing truth tables for a statement that involves a combinations of conjunctions, disjunctions, and or negations. If the given statement involves only two statements, then start with a table with 4 rows. So, see the table below, which is etong table na to. We call the standard truth table form. So here, this is a standard truth table form for a given statement that involves only two simple statement P and Q. So, yung formula dyan, yung para mas malaman natin yung mga rows, 2 squared lang naman or kung ilan yung component mo. So, here, dahil dalawa lang yung statement, therefore, 4 rows. Yan yung unang sinasabi natin. So, this is just for 2 compound statements or 2 statement pa lang. If we have this type ng 3 variables or 3 statements, so we have here the rows na 8. Okay? Bakit naging 8? So, in these rows, this could be the combinations or possible combinations of all the statements. So, here we can have true, 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 false, true, false, true, true, false, 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 true, true, false, true, false, 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 true, false, false, false. So, these are the possible combinations ng mga statements. So, here in given statement, it is upon kung ano ba yung truth values na kailangan natin or gusto nating hanapin. So, this is for truth values or standard truth table for given statement na merong statement P, Q, R or 3 simple statement. So, basic rules or step for constructing a truth table. Ano ba yung mga steps na kailangan natin tandaan? Number 1, we have to determine the number of rows required. Paano ba malalaman yung number of rows required? So, the number of rows in a truth table depends upon the number of basic variables or basic statements in the compound statement. To determine the number of rows, count the number of basic variables in the statement, but don't recount multiple occurrences of a variable. So, if we have one variable, ibig sabihin, isa lang yung statement natin, this could be, or meron lang dalawang rows. Kasi ang possible lang outcome nun ay true or false. In statement P, okay, burahin ko lang. So, if we have the statement P, si statement P, pwedeng true, pwedeng false. Therefore, we have 2 rows. Okay? 2 rows pa lang. Next, if we have 2 variables, okay, if we have 2 statements, kagaya ng P and Q, okay, balikan natin yon. If we have 2 variables or 4 rows, kagaya nito, okay, kagaya nito. Here we have statement P, we have statement Q. So, yung possible outcome kasi ng mga to, it could be true and true, true and false, false and true, false and false. Kung papansinin nyo, dalawang statement, okay? Pag dalawang statement, we have to raise it by 2. Or, kasi ilan ba yung i-raise natin? So, one variable, yung one variable, we have 2 raised to 1. 2 variable, 2 raised to 2. So, here, 2 raised to 2 is equals to 4 and that is your 4 rows. Okay? True, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. The possible combinations ng mga statements. So, now let's have these 3 variables, 8 rows. Or etong 3 variables, 8 rows na to, best example is the standard truth table form for a 3 simple statement. Natin ha. So, here, okay, so if meron tayo ng 3 statement na P, Q, and R. Now we have P, statement P, Q, and R. We have, 2, okay, 2 raised to 3. Bakit 2 raised to 3? Kasi yung statement natin ay 3. Okay, yung variables. So, 2 raised to 3 is 8. Bilangin natin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mas madali yung matatandaan, okay, yung mga statements natin if we alternative yung pagkakagawa or ibabalance natin yung combinations. For example, we have 4 na true, 4 na false. Okay, nagawa na natin yung gantong setup. Next, yung sa statement Q, hindi pwedeng 4 na true ulit yung magkakasunod, 4 na false. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin para mas matandaan natin, here we have true, true, false, false, true, true, false, false. Okay? Next, nagawa na natin yung gantong combination. Yung last is yung alternative ulit, na true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. Hindi pwedeng puro true, hindi pwedeng puro false. Kasi nga yung combinations ng statements na hinahanap natin is yung hindi pwedeng unique kumbaga yung combinations. So here, eto yung pinaka-standard para hindi kayo malito. So yan yung palagi nyo i-relate kapag ang variable ninyo sa statement ay 3. Pag 4 naman, edi 4 na true, 8 na true, then 8 na false. Next naman nun is 4 na true, 4 na false, 4 na true, 4 na false. Kapag yung next statement na R is tawag dito, we have 2 true, 2 false, 2 true, 2 false, 2 true, 2 false, 2 true, 2 false. And lastly na true, false, true, false, true, false na also. So, kumbaga paikli ng paikli yung combinations ng inyong statements. But here, ang kinukuha lang naman dito madalas is yung 2 rows or yung 2 statements saka itong 3 statements. So, we are finished right now here sa mga pagkuha ng rows. Step 2 is you have to determine the number of columns required. Meron bang target na columns? Dapat malaman natin yan. In order for us to know kung ilang columns ba dapat, okay, the number of columns in a truth tables, it depends upon the number of logical connectives in the statement. Kung ilan yung connectives na meron ka, yun yung number ng kumbaga, number ng columns na idadagdag mo. So here we have A. There will be one column for each basic variable. Kung statement mo ay, for example, meron kang statement P, Q, P and Q, yung statement, dalawa. Tapos naghanap ka ng negation ng P, magkakaroon ka ng isa pang column para kay not P. Tapos kung meron ka pang P or not Q, magdadagdag ka ng another column. Next, to determine the number of other columns, count the number of logical connectives. Ito yung sinasabi ko in the statement. Do recount multiple occurrences of the same connective. The tilde symbol counts as a logical connective. So, para mas maintindihan natin yan, papakita natin mamaya. In our step 3, we have to begin filling in the columns. The beginning columns are filled in so as to take into account every possible combination of basic variables being true or false. Each row represents one of the possible combinations. Kung kanina sa step 2 we determine the connectives, here yung mga we have to fill in from our data yung una, and then after we fill, we have to label the remaining columns. Yung mga connectives na idinagdag natin, yun yung magiging another columns natin. So, para mas maintindihan, let's have this example. So, construct a truth table for not quantity, not statement P or Q, then or Q. Kung papansinin natin, we have the negation of P. So, since ang variable natin, we only have statement P and the statement Q. Meron tayong dalawang variable or dalawang statement. Therefore, 2:2, first thing is alamin natin kung ilang rows. So we have 1 row 1, row 2, row 3, and then row 4. Okay, check. So, next is alamin natin yung magiging column niya. So we have statement P, statement Q, and then meron tayo ditong negation of P, which is another column. Okay, we have here negation of P. And then we also have the combination of not P or Q. So another column ulit yan, is column 2. So you have not quantity, not P or Q, you have another column. And then yung last is the whole, yung pinaka gusto nating hanapan ng truth value ng not quantity, not P or Q, or Q, yun yung pinaka end point. Step 4, okay, yung step, nakuha na natin yung pag-add ng columns. Step 3 pala, okay, we have step 3 is yung kanyang fill in, yung mga possible combinations na pwede. So we have true, true, false, false, and then true, false, true, false. Ito yung standard form for 2 statements. So now, meron na tayo na fill na natin. We also have Yung pang step 4, we have to label yung mga i-add nating columns. Okay, add columns etong mga to, and then eto yung pang 4. So after we label this one or this columns, pwede na tayo mag-proceed ngayon sa pag-fill nung mga kulang pa sa truth table natin. So we all know na ang not P or negation P is kabaliktaran ni P. So if it's true, this should be false. If it's true, it is false. False must be true, and then false is true. Yung negation na itong mga to ha, negation na itong mga to ay yung nandito. Okay. Now, we have that not P, and we also have the statement Q. Not P or Q, sabihin natin this is disjunction. Bakit naging disjunction? We use the connective or. So, sabi natin kapag disjunction, it should be true if may isa or at least one na true. Therefore, true or false, it is true. False and false, it is false. True and true is true. False and true is true. Bakit naging false yung pangalawa? Kasi sabi nga natin, the only way para sa disjunction na maging false is the both statements is false. So since pareho yung false, then it should be false. Next, we have this what we call negation naman netong group na to. Hinahanap natin siya dito sa yung pang column 3 na dinagdag natin. So ano ba yung negation niya? Kabaliktaran again. So pag nakakita na itong word na to na not, okay, or negation, kabaliktaran lang ng value niya. If it's true here, pagdating dito, magiging na siyang false. If it's false here, magiging siyang true. If it's true here, magiging siyang false. If it's true here, magiging siyang false. Bakit? Kabaliktaran nga siya. Etong part na to ay magiging kabaliktaran nito. So, here, meron na tayong value nito. Combine naman natin siya dito sa kay Q. Okay? So, or ulit yung disjunction. So we have true or false, it is true. False and true, it is true. True and false, it is true. And then yung last, false and false, it is false. So we all have this truth table. Nakapagawa na tayo ng isang truth table na identify na natin yung kanyang columns, na identify yung rows, and na-fill natin yung mga kulang sa kanya. Next, let's have another example. So, construct a truth table for P and Q and quantity not R or Q. So, here, ang ating statements is tatlo, which is 2 raised to 3. Para malaman natin yung rows, we have 8. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, we use the standard form ng 3 simple statement. So, yan na yung rewrite lang natin yan. And then, ang una dyan, meron tayong connective na P and Q. Okay? We have the combination of this one. We have the combination of these two. Okay? But here, meron pang isa. Etong part ng negation ng R. And then, lastly, pagkakuha niyan, yung pang-apat is yung whole neto. So, na-identify na natin na meron pang additional 4 columns. So, unahin na natin tong part na to. The P and Q. So, P and Q, true and true, it is true. Then, true and true, it is true. True and false, it is false. True and false, it is false. False and true, it is false. False and true, it is false. False and false, false. Then, false and false, false. Kasi nga, in order for it to be true, dapat parehong statement ay true kapag conjunction. Next, we have this not R or the negation of R. So, if it's the negation of R, kabaliktaran ng part na to. So, if it's true here, dito false na siya. If it's false here, magiging true. If it's true, magiging false. This one should be true. Okay. Okay, sorry, may mali. So, if it's true here, magiging false. So, true and true. Negation pala to. It should be false. False. Magiging true. Magiging true. Next, true magiging false kasi negation. False ay magiging true. False, true, false, true, false, true, false, true. Ayan. So, we have here the negation R. Ayusin ko lang to, no? Pangit ng sulat. So, we have here false, true, false, true, false, true, false, true. Kasi etong part na to yung ating hinanapan ng kanyang negation. So, meron na tayong not R or Q. Pwede na natin i-combine tong dalawang ito. Not R and Q. Or Q pala. Not R or Q. So, true or false, it is true. True or true, it is true. False and false, it is false. False and true, it is true. True and false, it is true. True and true, it is true. Ayan. False and false, it is false. And then false and false. False and true is true. So, pansinin nyo. Ang naging false lang dyan ay dalawa. Kasi false and false, then false or false. Okay? Next, we have this combination. This one. And eto, meron na tayong mga dalawang compound statement. And then, gagamitan siya natin ng disjunction na end. Okay? End. So, P or Q and not R or Q. So, true and true, it is true. True and true, it is true. False and false, it is false. False and true, it is false. Kasi the only way para maging true ito, sabihin nga natin kapag ang connectives ay and, it should be both true. False and true, it is false. Next is false and true is false. False and false is false. And then false and true is false. So this is the truth table for a three statements or compound or combination of compound statements. So, ayan, yung part 2 ng ating logic, the truth table on how to create a truth table. I hope na you learned something today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you and God bless everyone. This is Sir JP saying stay safe. God bless you all.